Today, let's talk about food insecurity, food deserts, and statistics from the USDA. Rebel Canners teaching all kinds of food preservation, especially the old ways, and boy, we all really need more of the old ways these days. Today, I'd like to talk about food insecurity and food deserts. I've been reading this article in Central Michigan Life by staff reporter Lauren Poscia. I'm very sorry if I've slaughtered your name. I mean no harm. But it talks about how across the country, the USDA has been doing some statistics, and even small cities are food deserts and have food insecurity. I just want to throw out some statistics that she looked up. Well, let's start by defining it. Food insecurity is a basic lack of access to healthy and nutritional food that is affordable. Let me say that again. Food insecurity is a basic lack of access to healthy, nutritional food that is affordable. And the USDA found in a study in 2022 that 12.8% of households in America at some point were food insecure. That's 17 million households, not people, households. And the average household in America is, I believe, 2.4. So 17 million times 2.4, yeah, that's a lot of people, okay? Probably more because, yeah. According to the USDA, food deserts don't necessarily mean there's an absolute zero access to food, but it can mean a lack of nutritional food. Places, they kind of call these places food swamps, where their only source of close, convenient food is convenience stores or gas stations, where people get their main source of calories. Low-income residents of these neighborhoods may not have transportation to get to a grocery store and have to depend. I know when my car was out a couple years ago, I had to go to a gas station just to get eggs to make breakfast on a Sunday morning. I had to walk 2 miles there. It was the closest place to my home that sold eggs, and I paid $4.89 for a dozen eggs just so I could make breakfast because my car was out of commission. Yeah. So it has to do with the ability to access food by the distance to a store, the number of stores within an area that services people, a certain number of people. Personal income always is a factor. Community resources is a factor. Yeah, food insecurity and food deserts almost always coincide with poverty rates, And then there's places like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan where it's just distance as well. There's just not stores. They just don't have them. It impacts physical and mental health. There's no way around it, If you don't give your children nutritious food and the right calories growing up, it impacts how their brain cells are formed. I mean, we're still forming brain cells up to age 12. So good nutrition for children between the ages of birth and age 12 is vital. There's no way around it. We need to be gardening. We need to be canning. We need to be preserving food in good, fresh food in season that is high in nutrition for our families. It's important. This scares me. It really does a little bit. It makes me remember why I do this, why I want to do this. 46% of people in a 2022 survey by the USDA reported having lost weight because they didn't have enough money for food. This is in the United States. We're not talking a third world country. We're not talking somewhere else. I'm just talking right here in the United States. Chronic diseases or weakened immune system can come from food insecurity, according to the USDA. You know, we're going through a Great Depression, people. Whether we see it or not, whether we call it that or not, you know, we're going through some troubling times, and we need to be taking care of each other and taking care of our families. Everybody needs to have a victory garden next year. I'm sorry if you know, grow more than what you can use as yourself. Share it with your neighbors. You know, learn these skills. You know, poor nutrition and diet-related diseases have far-reaching impacts on our healthcare system, according to the USDA. Again, that translates into societal impacts as well. Lower productivity, widening health disparities, skyrocketing healthcare costs. You know, the more people that are sick, the more people that use the healthcare system, the more government resources go to that. You know, the more they want to raise our tax dollars. Let's be honest. Studies have been done to find solutions to food insecurity and food deserts in the U.S. The USDA Economic Research Service, ERS, have funded a number of grants through the program entitled 25 Years of Food Security Measurement. The purpose of this program is to foster research related to the past 25 years of U.S. household food security research and explore feasible evidence-based improvements looking forward. Hey, I can tell you what the problem is. We stopped growing our own food. We stopped preserving our own food. We started relying on other people too much. You want to know what happened in the last 25 years? There it is in a nutshell. I don't know how to explain it better. And you don't even have to pay me. I can tell you that, okay? And I can tell you how to solve it. Teach kids in school how to garden. Other resources such as food pantries, soup kitchens, and organizations are available for those who may need it or would like to volunteer to help reduce food insecurity and food deserts. In our community, we have a community garden that is available all summer long, and people go in, work in it, harvest the produce. If they have extra produce, they bring it to that stand, and people can just pick up what they want. There's a log book. They're recording how much they're growing, how much they're giving away. It's amazing. It's really amazing. But I just wanted to touch on this article because I really thought she did very well. She has some good resources. And I just wanted to talk about that. So what are your ideas? What has changed in the last 25 years that you've observed? Put it in the comments that has caused this food insecurity and these food deserts. I know one thing, and it's been longer than 25 years, but I can name a city in Michigan, Detroit. It's never recovered from rioting in the 70s. There are food deserts there because no stores will go into these communities and build again. And the stores went out because of the way people behaved in the 70s. They've lost commerce. That town has been dying. It was huge. It was beautiful. And the town has been dying, you know, and then you see these other incidences of that. And those stores never go back into those areas. They pull out and they never go back. And then you don't have a grocery store. And the big stores, the big chain stores have put out mom and pop out of business. You know, I know that 4 mom and pop stores have closed in the last 10 years around where I live. They used to be cute little stores. You'd go in and, you know, they had pickled eggs on the counter and big old vats of pickles on the counter, and you could stop and get your gas and get a pop and get these little groceries, and they were more expensive than going into town. But when you figure out your gas, sometimes if you just need a gallon of milk, you could grab a gallon of milk on your way through and not have to go all the way up to the big town. You know, and we've put mom and pop out of business. So I know that's a factor too. So if you can think of anything else, put it in the comments. That's today's talk topic. Thank you, everyone. You have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one, Rebel Canners. Rebel Canners recipe files from the beginning to 2022 is now available in book form online at Amazon. Thank you and have a great day. Like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. So many more exciting episodes coming up.